All right. Good morning again, everyone. Thank you for joining us for our next concurrent session. We see everyone's entering the room, so we'll just take a quick moment, pause as everyone is entering the space. Down. Perfect, thank you. So, good morning, welcome. You are joining the Cura Personalis, I believe that is still Latin, for Caring Holistically at Arrupe College of Loyola University, Chicago. So thank you all for joining. As you know, we will be here until about 10:50. I'll give you some reminders at the end. But with that, I'm going to turn it over to our presenters. And I believe Isabel is getting us started. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Isabel Reyes, and I'm here with my colleague, David Keys. We both work at Arrupe College of Loyola University, Chicago. And we're here to present some information about the way that we care for our students at Arrupe College. And I'll just give me a second. I'm going to go ahead and start sharing my screen to go through our presentation.
As Isabel pulls up the information, just introducing myself, my name's David Keys. I use he, him, his pronouns, and I serve as the Associate Dean for Student Success here at Arrupe College. I am looking forward to having a great conversation with everyone.
Thank you, David. I'm Isabel Reyes. I work in the Office of Admission at Arrupe College as the Associate Director of Admission at Arrupe. And this is really funny. So yesterday, David and I were going through the presentation, and we told ourselves, like, oh wait, Cura Personalis. We didn't say that we were going to explain this. Like, let's explain what Cura Personalis means. So Cura Personalis is a Latin term which describes, and it's the literal translation is care for the whole person. We work at Arrupe College, which is part of Loyola University, Chicago, a Jesuit institution. Which really is, it follows a lot of different Jesuit morals. And one of the morals that we really take seriously here at Arrupe College is that the students that attend Arrupe College, they're our students, and we really need to care for them in a very holistic way. And care for the whole person really kind of describes the work that we do here on a daily basis with our students. And we'll tell you a little bit more about how we care for our students. If this is the first time that you're hearing about our institution, Arrupe College of Loyola University is a 2-year institution that is part of Loyola University, Chicago. So we're an associate's degree program. We were founded in 2015. And our mission statement really kind of explains who we are as an institution and who are the students that we serve. So we are part of Loyola University, Chicago, and we are continuing this Jesuit tradition of offering a liberal arts education to a very diverse population of students, most of who are students who are first-generation college students, and they're looking to pursue higher education. We offer 3 different associate degree programs. After those 2 years that students spend with us at Arrupe College, most of our students will attend Loyola University, Chicago to complete their bachelor's degree. Now, who are our students? Because they are our focus of who we'll be talking about today. Our students, in terms of their demographics, are about 99% students of color. Most of our students are recruited from Chicago or from the Chicagoland area. We are a commuter program. So very much like community colleges, our students live mostly at home and attend classes at Loyola's Water Tower campus in Chicago. And so most of our students commute to campus. 82% of our students are Pell eligible. So the majority of our students, the other percentage of students that you don't see there are undocumented students, right? So they're not eligible to apply for the FAFSA. But in the state of Illinois, we do have the MAP grant for those students. So we're very excited they're able to apply to that. 60% of our students identify as female. And so like very many institutions of higher education, they are students that are mostly female. 3.1 is the average high school GPA for our students that are entering Arrupe College. We are an institution that is looking for students that are not like the highest ranked students, right? We're looking for students who may be ready for college, but may have struggled at some point in high school, that may need that additional extra support during those first 2 years of college. 60% of our students are coming from public schools and public neighborhood schools. The majority of those students, of course, live in Chicago, but some of those students do commute from a little farther. I will say that, in my work in admissions, we met a vast majority of our students who live sometimes even a little farther from our campus downtown, but really are students that are committed and they're coming to the classes that we offer here. We're a small institution. Loyola University has about 17,000 students total amongst our 3 campuses in the Chicagoland area, but Arrupe College is way smaller. We only have about 300 students currently enrolled at Arrupe, and that's freshman and sophomore year. So after a student's 2 years here at Arrupe College, with the data that we've collected from our students, we currently have a graduation rate of 49%, which is still above the average for most 2-year institutions across the country. And then out of those students who graduate, about 71% of those students will attend their bachelor's degree to receive a bachelor's of arts or sciences. And this is a small list of examples of where our students will attend their bachelor's degrees. The majority of students will attend Loyola University Chicago, but we do have a variety of students that attend other private and public institutions in Illinois. And then we also have students that attend institutions that are outside of Chicago or outside of Illinois as well. I'm going to pass it over to my colleague David so he can tell you about all the great work that we do in the Office of Student Services.
Thank you, Isabel. Like Isabel said, as she introduced this session, we really pride ourselves in caring for the whole person and caring for our students as they come to us. We try to think about them and all of their needs. So with that being said, I think the main focus of the Office of Student Services is to accompany our students outside of the classroom. So here you see an organizational chart of our office. I can't speak about this team more highly than like words or awards could describe for them. They are highly dedicated. We are a team of diverse people and diverse ideas as well, but we all, not just this office, but also throughout the institution, really want to see our students succeed. So we really focus on, in the Office of Student Services, providing opportunities for development in leadership, spirituality, and personal well-being. In my role, I'm able to kind of focus on working with students and accompanying them when issues or crises arise for them, and working individually with trying to figure out the barriers that may be presented to them. I also manage the non-tuition assistance fund that we have, and I'll be talking about that a little bit later. And I work collaboratively with our assistant dean around leadership opportunities, student involvement, and student engagement. So I liken this office to a mini dean of students office. So we support students, we provide programming and events. We also have a newer on-campus housing program that we're going to talk about a little bit later as well. So Isabel did mention that we are a commuter school, but this is going to be our 3rd year in the pilot program for an on-campus housing scholarship. So I'll talk about that a little bit later. In addition to that, we have an Arrupe market that provides groceries and personal care items to our students as well. And we're going to talk about that as well. And then we have 2 social workers and a licensed therapist to meet the social and emotional needs of our students. So they meet with them individually or in groups and provide training and workshops to not only students, but also our faculty and staff members so we can meet students where they are. If you see that nice little sunflower right there, we do have a vacant role for our social worker position. So if you know of anyone or know anyone in your network who has a LCPC or LCSW and would like to carry forward the mission of Arrupe College and work hand in hand with our students and our team, please let me know. Would love to have them a part of our team here at Arrupe College. So within the Office of Student Services, I think we do a great job of thinking about some of the needs, some of the day-to-day needs that our students will need to take advantage of to be successful in the classroom. And these are some of the things that I believe that Isabel shares with our incoming students and students who are interested in attending Arrupe College. So the first thing is our meal program. So we partner with Aramark, who services the entire Loyola University, so all 3 campuses. And we provide breakfast and lunch each day that students attend school. So within our model, we have students attending school Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. And we serve breakfast and lunch those days. We leave Wednesdays out so students can focus on working part-time or focus on their coursework or internships or anything that they need to get done. And it's a nice like reprieve in the middle of the week. And because we're focusing on financial equity, right? I wanted to make sure that all of our attendees knew how much money was poured into each of the funds and the programs that we offer our students. So we spend about $35,000 to $40,000 each month to serve food every day that we have classes. And that's not only for students, we also serve food we offer it to our faculty and staff members here as well. And it's such an amazing space. This is a picture of the space that we share with students. You'll see faculty members or staff members eating with students, catching up with them. So not only are we eating, but we're building a sense of belonging amongst the whole community. Another thing that we focus on within the Office of Student Services is the technology assistance. So first, we all know that textbooks can be quite expensive. I think that we at Arrupe, we share with our students and their families that we would not like them to spend more than $50 to $75 on textbooks per semester. So in collaboration with our faculty and Office of Academic Affairs, through our office, we purchase different codes to give students access to their supplemental instruction needs. So that's with Math Excel, and I'm not sure if people are familiar with like the Inquisitive program through, I believe it's Norton, but that's through our environmental science classes, which are both requirements for students to graduate with their associate's degrees at Arrupe. We also offer fully equipped Lenovo laptops to each of our students, and we guarantee them that once they graduate from the program, this is yours to keep. So it's a really cool incentive for our students, and we spend about $167,000 on that every year, and that's given to all of our incoming students during the orientation program. Like I mentioned before, we host the Arrupe Market here within the Office of Student Services as well. This is in partnership with the Greater Chicago Food Depository. So if students or their families are in need of groceries or personal care items, they would just need to come up to the second floor where we are housed in McGuire Hall. They would scan a QR code, and then they would offer information about themselves, but this is information that's going directly to Greater Chicago Food Depository. It is not tied directly to the student. What they mostly need is, or what they really want is how many people are the students servicing with the food that they're gathering in their, as they're getting food. So this market is open to all Loyola University students. So it's not just the 300 students at Arrupe College. And then we also have a market that is located within each of our campuses in the Chicagoland area. So there's one in the medical school, there's one at the Lakeshore campus, and we host the one that is on the Water Tower campus in Chicago. We have about 100 to 125 students that check in per semester as well. And I would say half of them are not Arrupe students. So it's really good to see how all of our community members here at Loyola are utilizing these groceries and personal care items to meet like food insecurity as well. So we're really, really proud of this program. And last but not least, like I mentioned before, we just started our on-campus housing scholarship program. And through generous donations, we have been able to house about 36 students in Baumhart Hall, which is literally across the street from Arrupe College. And the whole point of this is for students to be able to get to class, but also meet some housing insecurity as well. So students apply for this program. Incoming students work with Isabel and Brandon in our admissions office to kind of communicate, hey, I might have some housing needs for the future, and I'm curious about Arrupe's program. And then our current students also apply for this program as well. When students, it is an application, and the second step is also an interview process as well. So we try to assess the need of the student, and we try to assess their capabilities to succeed. Some things that we're finding out with our on-campus housing scholarship program is sometimes first-year students might not need to move into a single bedroom in an apartment building across the street. So we're still kind of assessing and processing this program, but we're very happy about it. A lot of our students are doing academically well because they don't have to think about where I'm going to lay my head next, right? So we spend about like $500,000 annually on this program, and there is no cost to the student at all because this is a scholarship program. So they have to maintain a certain grade point average of 2.0. They also have to participate in monthly check-ins with our coordinator for student outreach and support, and participate in community development programming through the Res Life department in our department as well, collaboratively. So we're really proud of this program. We hope we can continue it, but it's really based on donations. And in our office, we also offer non-tuition assistance. So that all students are eligible to apply for this program. And this is a program in which like unforeseen circumstances come up. I think we all know about that, right? Like sometimes there's a death in the family. Sometimes there's a car wreck. Sometimes a medical issue comes up and I can't afford that bill. So students, not only students, but our faculty and staff are well aware about this non-tuition assistance program, and they encourage students to apply for it. After they apply for it, they meet with me and we have a discussion about how would these funds be utilized. And we talk about like a budget as well with the students. So there's some hopefully some learning going on in this one-on-one. But we get about 130 to 150 requests per semester, and we average around $350 per student. to help them with any of the things that they may be barring them from academically succeeding. And that's a little bit about what we do in the Office of Student Services. I see there's a question about an expectation of repaying funds, and no, there's no expectation. Students can also apply for this fund multiple times as well. But that when they apply multiple times, that kind of changes the conversation as we meet with them the second and third time too. Very good question.
So earlier we talked a little bit about our undocumented student population, and I'm sure if you all have worked with undocumented students on campus, you know that there are some obstacles to serving these students. And so we're listing just a few of the ways that we're able to support our student population. So at Arrupe College and at Loyola, we unfortunately do not have an undocumented student liaison that serves our students. So here at Arrupe, a few staff members have formed what we call now the Undocumented Student Support Committee, which I'll talk a little bit further. We also offer a fantastic fellowship program, which I know David will share a little bit more on that. If you didn't think his office did enough, they also help our students through a fellowship program. We have given space to our students to form what is called the Dreamer and Ally Student Organization. We're a pretty young institution, as you know. We opened up our doors in 2015. And since that year, we had a number of undocumented students who actually formed one of the first student organizations was our Dreamer Ally Student Organization, DASO. And then we also have a partnership with the national organization called Dream.us. They're a national scholarship program, which started right around the time that we opened up our doors in 2015. And from the very beginning, we had established a partnership with the Dream.us scholarship. So our Undocumented Student Committee, who are we? We're a group of several staff members who decided that we needed a way to better support our undocumented students. And so there's staff members represented by the Office of Admission, the Office of Financial Aid, the Office of Student Services, and the Office of Academic Affairs. The group formed about 2 years ago, and we decided that we needed to kind of work collaboratively to best serve our students who are undocumented. And the best way to really explain the work that we do, which seems to be kind of like growing every time that we meet, you know, we started off as just a way to help share internal and external resources for our students. So any internal resources that Loyola University has provided to students, and then also external resources when it comes to either scholarship opportunities or ways that when our students transfer to other institutions, how can we best service these students? A couple of things just to kind of mention, we had an Undocu Week a few weeks ago in late March, where we brought back some of our alumni to come and speak about what opportunities they had after graduating from college. I just want to mention one of our alums who he's one of our alums from our very first graduating class in 2017. He came back to talk about the company that he had started as an undocumented student who does not have DACA. He started his own tech company, which is small, and we're so proud of him because he told us about, you know, all of the different obstacles that you go through when you're trying to start your LLC and when you're trying to become an independent contractor. And so it was really great information that he shared with our students, many of whom currently do not have DACA, and so it's really, really important that for those students to hear that. A couple of other things that we did during Undocu Week, we also brought in an immigration attorney to talk about his experience of going through law school and encouraging students that would want to go into immigration law to come in and chat with him. We also had a couple of other advocacy events during that week. We also collaborate closely with DASO and with other Loyola undocumented student organizations. We will be collaborating with them a little bit more next year to host our kind of a collaborate Undocu Week and other events. The picture that you're seeing right now is actually a lot of our faculty and staff members who I'm going to highlight one of our staff members, Jocelyn Martinez. She is actually the advisor for our DASO group. And she kind of came in, she's only been working with us for maybe about a year, but she came in just really wanting to support our undocumented students and really looking for ways to really kind of advocate for these students. This is a picture of our National Immigrant Day of Action. So we all got together. We all, we're wearing the t-shirts the day of the Immigrant Action Day. So we're really excited to really kind of not just support our students, but also bring awareness to other students on campus as well. To focus a little bit about on our partnership with the Dream.us scholarship, as I mentioned, we started the partnership in early 2015. If you haven't heard about the Dream.us scholarship and you do have undocumented students that attend your institution, I'd really encourage you to really look further into a partnership with them. Here at Arrupe College, they cover full tuition, or they help us cover full tuition and fees for our students. With our partnership, we do have to pay a third of the students' scholarship for the students, and then Dream.us pays about 2/3 of that, the scholarship and the tuition and fees at Arrupe. Students also receive a $750 book and material stipend per semester, which is super helpful for students, right? They might actually have additional costs outside of books or other items. So we definitely encourage students to utilize it in wise ways. The Dream.us also offers a micro internship program with a collaboration with Parker Dewey. So any student, regardless of their immigration status, even if they do not have DACA, they're able to participate in a micro internship program that the university or the college itself. So for our college, we've hired students in different departments. We've hired students as student ambassadors, so you can become really creative with the different internship opportunities that you can create with the students. And it's all fully funded by Parker Dewey currently. So it's a 200-hour internship that students can take on, and they can actually take it on more than once. So here we have a student that she's on round 2 right now with her micro internship. And then lately, because our students are 2-year college students, we're always thinking ahead of time. We're thinking about what's going to happen to our students once they transfer into other institutions. And so just this past fall, we had our very first group of students transfer their scholarship to Loyola University Chicago. Now, Loyola is not a partner institution with the Dream.us, but Arrupe College is. And so it really just kind of, we were looking into different and more creative ways in which students can transfer their scholarship into other institutions. For the most part, many of our students were transferring to other partner institutions such as Dominican University or UIC. And we had several conversations with the leadership at Loyola and decided that these students were now going to be able to transfer their scholarship to attend Loyola University, which is a really fantastic opportunity for them. And then finally, once those students graduate from college, they do have access to a whole alumni network, which is actually national for all Dream.us scholars. So all the Dream.us scholars have a network of students that they can rely on. There's a closed Facebook group that they can have communication with while they're students. And then once they graduate, they're part of an alumni network, which is national. And it's really, it's such a cool thing to see, because these students have a chance to collaborate, talk about like, so what are you doing after college? Like, are you working? Are you kind of starting your own LLC? What are the things? What are your options? And so I think this is a really important piece that the Dream.us really offers to students. And it's a great way to engage with the students after graduation. I'm gonna let David talk a little bit more about the fellowship program.
Thanks, Isabel. So our fellowship program, I would have to say, is modeled a lot after the Dream.us program. I think that we saw a need for our undocumented or documented students to gain experiences and be able to make money for different experiences, different leadership experiences, professional experiences, or research experiences. So what we did was our office and the Career Development Center collaborated on a fellowship program. So we modeled this after the Dream Dot US program, and trying to find ways that students can gain just skills and become even more employable in the future. So we saw prior to this, students didn't have this access, especially our undocumented students. So we wanted to identify different opportunities. So we have a program called the LEAD program, in which our Assistant Director of Employee Relations and Recruiting found different community resources and opportunities in which our students can participate in shadowing. So obviously we have first and second year students here, and sometimes the idea of being in an internship is kind of scary. Like that's like a lot of commitment there. So we have shadowing programs in which our students can enroll in, and then kind of like use that experience every Wednesday. So when we don't have classes, to reflect on what they learned during that shadowing program. So here you'll see a picture of one of our partners with the law school here at Loyola University, Chicago. So all students can apply, but students without work authorizations are heavily encouraged to apply, because this is a way to financially support them, but also gain skills, offer them opportunities and ideas of career pathways in which they want to pursue. But to differentiate between a fellowship in a work experience, students are required to present a reflection or research at the end of their placement to coincide with this being a fellowship program. So some of the opportunities, oh, that's awesome, your niece is here. But some of the opportunities are with different organizations within the Chicagoland area, but we also provide opportunities, like Isabel said, within Arrupe College. So we have fellowship programs with the art fellows. So they help our fine arts teacher with programs and events in the coursework as well. We also have the writing fellows and math fellows who help with those courses and peer support and tutoring. And we also offer opportunities with our orientation program and our orientation leaders. So we're really proud of this program. I would say it's relatively new and we're still learning, but we are happy that we can support students in this way, all of our students. So, and I believe that concludes what we would like to share with you as far as like how we holistically care for our students at Arrupe College. I think we have questions in the chat.
I think the first question is, are there additional ways that you partner with faculty and support students? Do you want to answer that question, David? I can do the next one about how we reach out to undocumented students.
Yes, so Arrupe, I think we really pride ourselves on being small and nimble and highly communicative. Our faculty members serve as advisors, like academic advisors, and kind of like holistic advisors as well. So like our faculty members get new cohorts every 2 or 3 years of incoming students, and that the 20 to 25 students that are going to be in their cohort of advisees are basically the students that they're going to cultivate really strong relationships with over their 2 years at Arrupe College. So when we instruct our students like, hey, if you need any assistance, any kind of help, your faculty advisor is your first point of contact. Sometimes students feel comfortable with the faculty advisor. Sometimes they feel more comfortable with other staff and faculty at Arrupe College. but we all work collaboratively in supporting our students outside of the classroom. And I cannot commend our faculty enough for just not only knowing their own like subject and craft, but also supporting students outside of the classroom.
And then there's a question about how we reach out to undocumented students, or how do we find them? We're a pretty small institution, and typically sometimes through either the admission process, we do find who these students are through their applications through the dream.us, or sometimes we know that students, sometimes even in the financial aid process, they'll come to our financial aid associate director and share information with them. So we're able to identify the students, and we're not, we encourage them sometimes to either join DASO. We encourage them to attend their meetings that we have for our dream.us scholars. We do a few check-ins with them. And so, we're really trying to open the opportunity for them to join, but we're not like super insistent. It's nice that we're a smaller institution because we can run into them into the hallway, or we let them know, like, hey, we haven't seen you at this meeting, or there's this meeting coming up, you should definitely attend, or we're having these events. We're having on Docu Week, and we really encourage students, and we really open it up to other students as well. I think awareness is really important. Awareness of, our current political climate. These are conversations we want students to have on campus. And so we do a kind of like a soft outreach for those students.
We got a direct question around non-tuition assistance funding. Is it private funding? That is a very good question. I believe it is private funding. We get a lot of different donors who are familiar with the mission of Arrupe College, who donate different quantities. So I just received an email that we got a new gift of $25,000 to be put into the tuition and non-tuition assistance funding for our students. So yeah, it's a range of different donations.
Mm-hmm. There's another question about how and what are ways that we collaborate with departments and units across the rest of the university. Do you want to take that question, David, or I can?
I mean, I feel like we both do it. I feel like we all do it. So yeah. I'll speak as far as within the Office of Student Services, we collaborate with our with different departments, such as the Center for Diversity and Inclusion, our Student Activities and Engagement Office, the Wellness Center, the Dean of Students Office. Like, we all work very collaboratively in providing opportunities for our students when it comes to like programming, events, involvement, making sure they know what the opportunities are within the larger university, but also supporting individual students in need as well. And I've been in this role for less than a year, and my eyes have opened as far as like how collaboratively different units within Loyola works. But I know Isabel works very closely with other departments too. So
yeah, I do work closely with our Office of Admission for undergraduate programs at Loyola University. In fact, many of the students that sometimes end up applying to Arrupe College are referred to us through Loyola because we're a smaller, newer institution. Sometimes students don't know about Arrupe, so then we get a referral from them. I'm also I'm one of the several representatives that are part of the undocumented student committee for all of Loyola University. So we do have a separate committee for the entire university, and we're also represented there. Well, sounds like I think we ran out of time, huh?
You did, but you guys did a great job of catching up on all those questions. I think there was still one more that was posted, but we just wanted to make sure everybody has an opportunity to have a stretch break and a bio break if needed as well. So thank you so much, Isabel and David, for sharing what it is that you guys are doing, the great work at Arrupe College and all the hard work with your students. So, and thank you all for joining in for your great questions as well. Just a reminder for everyone, the next session will start at 11. And that'll go from 11 to 11:30. So that will be a 30-minute session. So thank you again for joining us on this one. Please make sure you're in the app or the Whova agenda so that way you can see how to make sure you get in to the next session that begins again at 11 o'clock. Thank you, Isabel. Thank you, David. Appreciate everybody. Take care.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Have a good rest of the day.